Have you ever felt an invisible presence guiding you, protecting you in moments when no one else was around? What if that wasn't just a feeling but something very real, something divine? In today's story, we're diving deep into the mysterious truth behind guardian angels. Do they really walk with us? And are they personally assigned to you? Welcome to Divine War Stories, where heaven's secrets, angelic interventions, and biblical battles unfold through cinematic storytelling. If you're searching for the hidden war behind the visible world, you're in the right place. Now, let's unveil the divine mystery. There's a moment in every person's life where the unexplained whispers louder than logic. When you survive an accident you shouldn't, when a voice tells you to stop just before stepping into danger, or when peace wraps around you while chaos surrounds. These moments leave us questioning if there's more to the unseen than we've dared to believe. For centuries, across cultures, religions, and testimonies, the idea of guardian angels has not only survived, it's flourished. But what if these aren't just comforting metaphors? What if they're ancient truths encoded in divine order? In the Bible, in sacred texts, in visions and dreams, there's a pattern, a structure, a plan far beyond coincidence. And today we explore whether these angels are truly assigned to us personally, or if their mission is bigger than we think. Let's start with the most quoted verse on the subject. Psalm 91 verse 11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Simple, direct, personal. This doesn't suggest a distant, random protection. It implies intentionality. That someone, somewhere, is commanded to guard you, not humanity in general but you. This verse is echoed throughout scripture and tradition, suggesting that angelic protection isn't just possible, it's personalized. And while some argue this protection is symbolic, others recall the moment they swerved seconds before a crash, heard a voice in the night, or felt an arm pull them from the edge. Are all of these just imagination, or are angels truly watching? The idea of angelic assignment goes even deeper when we enter the book of Matthew, where Jesus says in chapter 18:10, "See that you do not despise one of these little ones. For I tell you that their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father in heaven." Did you catch that? They're angels. This implies possession, a designated being attached to a person, especially children, but perhaps not only them. In this statement, Jesus isn't being poetic. He's revealing a structural truth of the spiritual world. Every child has an angel assigned. But the question echoes, do those angels stay with us as we grow? Or are they reassigned? Or worse, do we lose them? Some theologians believe guardian angels are assigned at birth and remain through life unless rejected. Others argue they change as we mature or move into different callings. But here's a thought. If God's love is intimate and intentional, wouldn't his protection be too? Assigning a guardian angel to every individual fits perfectly into that picture. Like soldiers on a mission, angels aren't aimless. They are sent, positioned, and ordered for specific people at specific times. This isn't chaotic. It's divine strategy. And those who've glimpsed these warriors in dreams, visions, or near-death experiences describe them with such detail and consistency that it's hard to dismiss as myth. Imagine this. Somewhere in the unseen realm, there's an angel who knows your voice, who's fought for you without you ever knowing, who stood between you and death more times than you can count. That thought alone should shake us. But it should also comfort us. Because even when we feel alone, we may never truly be. Guardian angels might not appear with wings and glowing swords, but their presence changes everything. And sometimes, silence is the loudest form of protection. Sometimes, you didn't hear the whisper because it wasn't for your ears, it was for the demon who came too close. Across history, stories echo like holy echoes, people seeing flashes of light before tragedy, sensing a force pulling them back, or even being saved by strangers who vanish moments later. These aren't just bedtime stories or exaggerations. They form a collective memory of divine interference. In wartime, on hospital beds, in back alleys and classrooms, these angels show up, always at the perfect time, never too early, never too late. And while some call it instinct or luck, others know better. They've seen the shadow move when no one was there. They've felt the hand catch the midfall. Guardian angels don't need to be seen to be real, they just need to be on assignment. But what do these angels look like? The Bible describes some as warriors with flaming swords, others as radiant beings too bright to behold, and some as ordinary humans who pass unnoticed. Hebrews 13 verse 2 gives us this curious command, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by so doing some people have entertained angels without knowing it." That means they walk among us, blend in, appear at just the right moment, and disappear just as fast. Maybe you've met one. Maybe you've already been saved by one. And maybe you're not alone in the way you think. And now we ask the big question, why? Why would God assign a personal guardian angel to you? The answer lies in his nature. He is a God of order, intimacy, and purpose. You are not random. Your life is not chaos. There is a war for your soul, and God has never left you defenseless. The angel isn't there to stop you from scraping your knee, but to guard your destiny, to interrupt hell's plan, to fight the unseen battles you're too fragile to win alone. And while free will means we often walk into trouble, grace ensures we never walk alone. Your guardian angel is part of that grace. Still, it's not always a dramatic rescue. Sometimes it's a quiet nudge, a dream that warns, a stranger's words that realign your path. Sometimes the greatest protection is redirection. And if you've ever been delayed, rerouted, or even disappointed, what if that wasn't failure but favor? What if your angel moved heaven and earth to keep you from something worse? The problem is we often interpret divine intervention through human eyes. We want lightning bolts. But angels operate on a different frequency, stealth over spectacle, purpose over performance. And their mission: keep you alive until your mission is done. Let's be real, life is war. Not just physically but spiritually. And guardian angels are not there to make life easy, they're there to make sure you finish. To remind you in ways you don't even see, that heaven hasn't forgotten you. That every breath you take is a battleground one. That someone stands over your bed at night while you sleep, sword drawn, watching what you'll never see. That's the beauty of it, you're not alone. You were never alone. And if you've made it this far, it wasn't by accident. Now let's go deeper. One of the most overlooked roles of guardian angels is not just to protect, but to deliver messages, inspire decisions, and guide us subtly through divine whispers. When we think of angelic assignment, we often imagine dramatic interventions, but in reality their guidance is often gentle, intuitive, almost like a soft wind turning your face in a new direction. That moment when you suddenly feel the need to call someone you haven't spoken to in years, the urge to take a different route home, or the strange peace that settles over you before making a life-altering decision. What if that was your angel leaning in just enough for your spirit to feel? Their methods may not shake the sky, but they're precise, timely, and personal. But let's address the doubt that many people carry: why do bad things still happen if we have guardian angels? It's a valid question. Protection doesn't mean exemption from pain, it means preservation through it. Your angel isn't a barrier to all suffering, they are a barrier to destruction. Think of Daniel in the lion's den. The angel didn't prevent him from entering, but it closed the mouths of the lions when he was inside. Think of Peter in prison. The angel didn't stop the arrest, but it broke the chains at midnight. Your angel's role is not always to remove the fire, but to make sure you walk through it without being burned. And sometimes they are the reason you still have a future after the fall. Guardian angels are not passive, they're warriors. Fierce, focused, and loyal to the throne they serve and the soul they guard. They are not swayed by emotion or exhausted by your mistakes. They remain even when you forget they exist. Assigned not because of your goodness, but because of God's grace. And while we romanticize them in art, the reality is far more powerful. These are soldiers who war on your behalf while you sleep. Who battle principalities and forces that seek to derail your purpose. And every time you wake up alive, every time your mind is still sound, every time your hope survives, understand this: someone fought for that. And what happens when we pray? Some believe that our prayers activate the angelic realm, giving guardian angels clearer orders, fresher strength, or sharper direction. In Daniel 10 we see an angel delayed in battle, until more help arrived. That passage teaches us something huge: even angels face resistance. Your prayers are not empty words, they're strategic signals in a cosmic war. When you pray for protection, for guidance, for clarity, you might be empowering the very angel assigned to you. That's not superstition, that's scriptural insight. The spiritual world responds to faith, not fear. So if you want to strengthen your guardian angel's mission, start with prayer. Now here's something even deeper. What if your guardian angel has been with you longer than your first breath? What if they were present even in the planning room of heaven, when your soul was designed and your purpose mapped? The idea may sound poetic, but consider how intentional God is. If He knew you before you were born, if every hair on your head is numbered, wouldn't He also assign protection before your first heartbeat? That means your angel knows your fears, your wounds, your blind spots, and still stands guard. Not just as a bodyguard but as a witness to your life. Every moment you've wept, every time you laughed, every time you nearly gave up, someone holy was there. And it's not just individuals. Sometimes guardian angels are assigned to families, nations, even entire generations. In the book of Daniel, an angel refers to the prince of Persia and the prince of Greece. implying angelic governance over regions. That means while you may have a personal angel, there may also be a larger structure at play. Your family may have a generational guardian, one who's seen the cycles, the trauma, the victories and setbacks. And their mission: to keep the bloodline from breaking, to preserve the promise across decades. If that's true, then your life is not just about you, it's part of a greater spiritual inheritance. This revelation should change the way we live. Knowing you're never truly alone brings both comfort and responsibility. If your guardian angel is always near, then how do we honor that presence? We don't need to worship angels, that belongs to God alone. But we can walk with awareness, with gratitude, with a deeper sensitivity to the unseen. We can pause before reckless choices, remembering someone holy stands nearby. We can listen more carefully to that inner voice. We can pray not out of panic but in partnership. Because this is not fiction, it's faith in action. And in moments of deep despair, when the night is thick and the silence screams, remember this: your guardian angel hasn't left. They do not abandon you in darkness. In fact, it's in the darkest hours that they stand closest. Psalm 34 verse 7 says, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them." That means there's a camp around you. A presence. A watchtower built in the spirit. Even if you feel broken, forgotten, or attacked, someone is stationed by your side. Not because you're strong but because you're chosen. And chosen people always have heavenly backup. So next time you walk into a room, remember, you don't walk in alone. When you cry, someone is already interceding. When you feel weak, someone is already guarding. And when you doubt your worth, someone who stands in the presence of God himself is standing for you. That's not just protection, that's purpose. You are not abandoned. You are not overlooked. And the battles you've survived are not proof of luck, but of loyalty, from a realm that never sleeps. You have been carried, shielded, whispered to, and pulled back from edges you never even saw. If this message stirred something in your soul, maybe it's because deep down, you've always known that you were never truly alone. That someone was there in the silence, fighting battles you couldn't name. If that's you, take a breath. Say a prayer. And thank the one who sent the angel and the angel who never left. And if you're still unsure, just ask. Ask for a sign. Ask for protection. And watch what happens. Because angels are not a myth, they're on a mission. And you? You are worth the fight. If this story awakens something divine in you, subscribe to Divine War Stories and join us as we reveal the unseen war behind every soul. The battle is real, but so is your guardian.